Good morning, everybody. It's Friday morning and it's the second live we try on YouTube. So I hope everybody's got the link and you ready to join me. So it's a lovely sunny day today. Usually my Friday morning sessions are group sessions. So exercises are usually based on how other people feel. It is quite difficult to do when all I can see at the moment is just myself. I can only really base the exercises on where I am with things and how I'm feeling. I always say, if you have any thoughts, anything you'd like to ask or anything you'd like to work on, perhaps leave a comment. If I get it in time, I'll try and cover it. If not, I'll bear it in mind for next time. There are all sorts of discussions that come up on one-to-ones, particularly with people. You have sort of questions, how can you, what sort of techniques and exercises can you use? I tend to cover things like if you have a cold, if you're just a little bit tired. There's some stuff is a bit more personal. For instance, there are certain times of the month, they'll say, where ladies in particular find that suddenly their voice just is drained. So perhaps if anybody was interested at some point, we could cover that subject. So what am I this morning? I've been feeling for a few days. I was ill a few weeks ago. I'm fine now, but I feel that the top of my throat is sort of quite feels tight and swollen. I'm putting it down to my hay fever and the fact that I've seen loads of lovely bees this morning, some without their heads. So I suspect it might be mating season. Hot subject for a Friday morning. That's what happens if all I can see is myself. I'm sort of throwing stuff on myself. Okay, shall we just get started? Okay, we're going to start with some deep breaths. If you feel like standing up, you're rearing to go, please do. If you'd like to stay seated to be going on with, I'm going to do so as well, just for now. If you're sitting in a chair, a stool or something without a back, I find best. If you're sitting on a chair, try to sit a bit further forward so that you're not actually leaning on the backrest. And I usually say, just adjusting my stool, I usually say, sit with your feet flat on the ground, your knees about 90 degrees. This morning, I'm in a different mood. Then sort of sit with your back straight and so your knees sort of 90 degrees, but like that. So cross your ankles so that you have your chest and sort of pelvic areas nice and open, nice and relaxed. Your back nice and straight. And we are going to aim for breathing straight into the chest. See how we get on. I usually talk about the soft palate to start with. Let's see how we get on, just breathing into the chest. Breathing in through a mouth and blowing gently, slowly out through the mouth. We'll go like this. Now let's do one together. What I'm aiming for here, now I've got the palms of my hands up, so resting on my thighs. What we're aiming for here is a sensation of building up a sort of circle of air and energy just in front of us, just sort of in that space between our legs and our heart. Yeah, so nice and simple. So breathing together. Once more. One more. Now keep that thought. If you're one of those people who decided to stand up, try and relax, stand in a really relaxed manner, unlock your knees, and just guide the air into your chest and out from the abdomen up, just by moving your arms with it, like this. As we breathe out, we're almost squeezing into the knees. So once more. And a third one for good luck. Now, how do you feel? I'm always in favor of really listening to our body, and this is what I always talk about. As I say, these sessions are very much a warm-up session together, and this is what I do, and very welcome to enjoy for free. It's not quite the same as a singing lesson. In a singing lesson, you would have one-to-one feedback, and you work on songs and all of that. And I always say to people, listen to your body. Listen to your body. As I'm listening to my body, breathing deeply, and I'm thinking, oh, actually, it's in just my throat. My chest is a bit achy there. I think what it is as the air pushes through, and I haven't warmed up yet this morning. I saved it entirely for you. Things are sort of being squeezed out of the way, you know. And if you do get a hay fever and you get quite bunged up, then you might feel that. You might feel that the air is pushing through the channels in the lungs, clearing a way for the oxygen through all the gunk that's in there, you know. Okay, so we'll bring it back up to a hum, nice and nasal on. So we're going to go with the mouth closed. So it will be a with your tongue nice and relaxed. But I want a nasal quality to it as well. So we'll go. Stand arpeggio, okay? Together. If you're standing, please operate the same movement we used for the breathing. Going up. Once more. Raise your cheeks. Last one. Good. Now on the same pitch, let's try it on O. Nice and simple, really. Just have the cheeks raised, mouth shaped like an O, and still focus on the air going into your lungs and coming out and just sort of warming up the body and your space. So on carry on. I'll stand up so I don't break the computer. Really, really gentle. if you do have a high voice like mine, we'll do a couple more. If you can't quite reach the height, just drop it down a little if you can. Otherwise, take a breath. We'll go on. No, I'm pushing. Okay. E. O. Last one now. I just want to say it is quite an ugly sound. I'm not aiming for beautiful singing just yet. I'm just guiding the vibrations and the air. I want to see how the body's reacting to things at this stage. So it sounds ugly on my part. If you feel, oh, that doesn't sound right when it comes out of you, don't worry about it. At this stage, we're just moving things out of the way and sort of stretching various muscles. What I'm aiming for is a sort of realization of some kind of energy waking up that you feel from your core upwards. See where we are with things. So on A, you have a go. Good. Now we'll get our arms swinging. So unlock your knees and have a little bounce. Let's build up the elasticity in a joints. And sort of massage the lungs, the chest, as we swing our arms. And we'll go. Together. Coming down. Couple more. Last one for now. I say for now. You will have heard, because we're just aiming for a simple approach. If like me, you enter your passaggio in its most raw way, the voice breaks. You get that sort of break in the voice between the middle and the bottom. Don't worry about it. It's an exercise. For the sake of the exercise for now, we want to aim for more of a chest voice, really get the vibrations going in there. You may notice, if you can see my face, I've always got my cheeks nice and high. It's a great help because it keeps the soft palate up after I breathe in. Oh, excuse me. So I can just focus on just the notes and what I'm doing. But also, as we go into the lower range, it prevents the voice from just collapsing. So try and sort of keep that sensation. Okay, let's imagine we're in water. We're going to step into water up to the point where you can still breathe, but you're in water and you're feeling your way through, wading your way in the water. Okay? Excuse me. Now you see. That was it. Now my chest doesn't hurt anymore. I'm coughing. That's interesting. Aha. Clearly, something's working. See? Excuse me. Great. I like that. I'm happy now. So let's keep going. This is the same exercise, a little bit deeper. Have that sort of smile and think, what if you could way into the ocean and see what we could see? Where could we be? What could you see? Could we see corals or fish? Or could we find Atlantis? Yeah. So we'll turn the swing into more of a manta rays movement with our arms. So the purpose of this exercise is to really stretch the back and really allow every single part of the lungs to clear up and fill with air, and all the muscles to have a little stretch and relax and massage themselves and each other. So on from your nose down into the chest. Together. Last one, two. Last one if you can. Just slow down and take a deep breath in. Hold it for a moment and then out. And touch your toes. And I say touch your toes, I mean just reach, just allow your back to relax towards the ground. You don't have to be able to touch your toes. So come up, bend your knees, and gently come up. Breathe in. Hold your breath for a moment, and we'll breathe out through the seat, up to the sitting. Stretch your arms and touch your toes again, as before. Breathe naturally as you gently bend your knees and come up again. Breathe normally, have a little shake. Shake the head. How do you feel? Do you feel nice and warm and relaxed, but ready to go as well? Fantastic. Good. I think what I'll do today, see, now I'm really relaxed. We'll take it step by step. We'll go back. I'd like to use still the idea of the E or E or E or E or R, but change the exercise. Very simply, let's just give this a go, and then we'll build up a place around it. Nice and simple. We'll go. Now, give it a go. Good. How did that feel? Where am I going with this? I want to change my approach for today, because we usually are very, very physical, and we combine physicality with imagery. Now, because now we've done a bit of that physical and vocal warm-up, I'd like to add a bit of precision. I want to work a little bit more on the voice and bringing back the control a little bit. So we've stretched up and we're relaxed, but I want to control the voice more so that I don't push and end up hurting my vocal cords or anything like that. So let's visualize. You can either be a tree, or you can be a manta ray in the sea if you like. What I would like you to do is, while we do the exercise, really focus on your core. If you can visualize your wonderful place where you want to be just now, perhaps with a sense of exploration. And I quite like the thought of the deep sea, because there's a darkness and a light that comes to you with, you know, the odd little fish coming up, and this thought of aiming for Atlantis. You know, there's an excitement there. I like it. But you could be a tree, and perhaps you could be thinking of the sky and the birds. What I would like you to do is have that image in your head, but be there as yourself and sing into towards your core, and make the most of the resonance. What we want to build up is resonance in itself. We're not pushing the voice out. You're not singing out. You're singing in and trusting the resonance of your body. Okay? Yeah. Give it a go and you'll see what I mean. So together. In the same pitch together. One more down and then we go ah. Maybe one more if you've got a deeper voice. I'm finding I quite like the bottom today. That sounded wrong. Never mind. Last one. Ooh, I really want to keep going. You see, I get excited. I find the sound, I find the feeling, and I go, I could really play with this. I'm not going to do it live. What I'm going to suggest is see what you experience when you're having a go at these exercises. How far can your voice go? How low can it go? How high can it go? How can you shape the sound? You see, what I was doing is I'm thinking, right, I'm right on the passaggio of my voice. I'm right on the bit where my voice goes, I don't know what I'm doing. So I was guiding it. I was guiding it by focusing, really controlling the muscles in the front of the face and opening up and guiding the sound through the back of the throat and dropping the jaw and really guiding the sound into my chest. Exciting stuff. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to do a... Just move my chair out of the way. So imagine it's like a sort of cold sensation, like that. Or perhaps you could be a bird making a funny sound like that. Yeah. For this case, for this exercise, we will get a little more physical. Feet together, we'll bend our knees and build up like this. Yeah. So one big circle up and down and then across, just to finish it. Together. Let it really go. And we'll do one more. Big breath in. Big breath in. And out. Really let it go. Oh, one more. Breathe in. And out. Gotta be careful with that, because if you breathe out like that too hard while you're standing upright, you might get a bit dizzy. Sometimes people do. That's why I'm doing that and just sort of controlling my my balance. How are we doing for time? Oh, it's been a while. Last exercise, because I know it's a favorite of some of us and some of our friends. We'll do the birdie exercise. So again, we'll go back to some control. Here we can perform a little, but rather than perform, we're telling a story through vocalizations. Telling as if you're telling stories about little birds to little children, no man. Okay? So still singing into your core and trusting your resonance. We go together. Up onto E. Breathe. There you go. Beautiful, well done. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a second and out. And one more, in. That came out instead. In and out. Lovely. Have a shake of your hands. Now I'm going to sit down and have a little chat. So, sometimes, especially friends of mine who are professionally trained and perhaps even singing teachers, give me your back. They say, "What are you talking about?" See, in truth, we all learn the same technique and we all teach the same technique, but there are different ways. That's why I always say when people approach me about one-to-one singing lessons, I say, well, let's have a trial session because it is as much an audition for me as it is for you. You, from your part, you know, is it worth investing in singing lessons? What do you want from singing lessons? Because I get people asking for lessons for a number of different reasons. In my case, it seems to be that it's mostly amateur singers, perhaps of retirement age. They really, what they want is that they just want their breath control back. And with me, they found the perfect person because we seem to get on from that point of view. I seem to have a good method, which is quite relaxing and really helps people with that. But some people are much more academic. They prefer, more technical talk. Now, although I have all the background, I'm a very be careful live, using words that sound weird. So that's the thing. I'm not great with language. If I was writing, I would have the time and so on, but I'm much more about sensations and feelings. I'm much more empathetic when it comes to explaining how to do something, explaining and teaching. something. I'm much more about enabling people to listen to their body and get their instrument working, rather than teaching a technique in the sort of way that you might learn something at school and then you put it into practice. Because I've had that. I think for about 15, 20 years, I trained privately. I had lessons with different teachers, wonderful teachers. But what I've realized quite recently is that I think where I was going wrong is that when you are in a one-to-one session with a singing teacher, quite often we listen and we try to mirror what the teacher says and does. And this is something very important when you follow these classes as well, these sessions. Be very aware, and I always say, really listen to your body. Listen to what I'm saying and what I'm suggesting that you do, but really focus on your inside and what you are doing and how your body is reacting. Because if you are just doing what you're told in a mirroring sensation, sorry, not sensation. If you're just mirroring what the person tells you to do, somehow our muscles react in a way which is flat. We turn into mirrors. So if, for instance, I'll imagine that I hear myself or a teacher sort of go, and I've listened to that, and I'll try and do it as if I'd heard it from someone else. This is how I would do it. Can you see how the quality sounds different? But if I listen and sing into myself, what I'm listening for is the sound coming from the person telling me what to do. And when listening to myself, I'm either focusing inward to my core and listening both ears inwards, or I am listening to the sound of my voice in the room. So that there's an awareness that then anchors me into my breath and my core. And then I can say, okay, I'll try that exercise. I'll take a moment to think what I want to do. And then I'll breathe into the soft palate. That will engage the diaphragm. And then I will sing the notes I've been told. So I'll go, as you can hear, the sound was a lot warmer. The notes are the same, but the voice sounds completely different. So that's why it's important. When people are often told, oh, but if you're in a choir or if you're performing, you're always told to sing out because otherwise nobody will hear you. When people are telling you to sing out, they don't mean throw your voice away, which is what we tend to do so often. We tend to assume a voice comes out through the mouth and the vocal cords are there and we just push the sound forward. The sound is going to go forward regardless. What you want to do is be louder. That is what people mean when they say sing out. They really mean not sing out, but sing out, sing up, sing louder. That is specifically it, sing louder. How you get the louder is by creating space inside your body for the resonance. Okay, which I've shown how to do it and we've done. Good. Now, the Friday is usually the session where I get to just sing whatever I like and in whatever language. Although I did a bit of this on the Wednesday on Facebook, you might not have heard. Sorry. This time I promise I will put the words underneath. I'm going to sing a little song, which is it's not opera. It's an Italian folk song from Puglia, from the southern part of Italy. So on the plus side, I don't speak the language either. It's in the local dialect. It's called ritornella, which means the swallow. It's called ritornella, as in return, because the swallow goes to warmer countries and it comes back. And the song itself is very repetitive, almost, I find it almost meditative. But it's a little story. A lover is saying to the swallow, "What are you doing? Flying across the sea, or dear swallow, will you stop for a moment and listen to me? Will you take my voice and take it to my beloved? She's so far that she doesn't hear me." And then the swallow responds, "Oh, that's because she's asleep in the shade. But as she wakes with a tear because she misses you." So then he says, "Oh, we'll send her a wonderful handkerchief, which then we'll clean in Naples." I don't know. It's a long story, but it's, have a listen. If you've been to Italy, if you're Italian, you will probably recognize it. Turinina chi vai, Turinina chi vai, lo maru maru, oi ritornella, Turinina chi vai, lo maru maru. Firma quando te rico, firma quando te ricordo i paroli, oi ritornella, ferma quando ti ricordo i paroli. Corriai e tarilu, sospira mai. Ai ritornella, corriai e tarilu, sospira mai. E vedi se mi risponda, e vedi se mi risponda lo mio bene. A ritornella, vedi se risponda lo mio bene. Non mi rispondano, non mi rispondano, è troppo lontano. A ritornella non mi rispondano, è troppo lontano. È sotto una friscura, è sotto una friscura che sta dormendo. A ritornella è sotto una friscura che sta dormendo. I'll stop it there. This is quite long and it's all the same tune. What did you think? I find it really useful to have this sort of song, because I try and sing the love, hence you get the smile and the feeling at the front of the face. So it's really light singing. I always breathe into the soft palate to have that space, but the vibrations of the singing itself is focused here. If you hear folk singers, they quite often have a much harsher sound. I feel there's no reason why you couldn't have a folk sound with a bit more space to it. I don't think it sounded operatic, did you? Anyway, anything else? Any others? Oh, do you know what? Yesterday was St. George's Day. So that made me think, and then I didn't do a live yesterday. I didn't have time, and I don't want to overcrowd the internet with my live. I think I might sing Jerusalem. Why not? Shall I stand over there so we get a better sound quality? And if you know it, sing along. We'll pitch it on. Okay, 1, 2. And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green, and was the holy Lamb of God on England's Nor shall the sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem on England's green and pleasant town. I enjoyed that. I hope you had a good morning too. If you see this at a later point, you will of course be able to view it at various times and again. If you have any questions or comments, please leave your comments below, and any requests for anything that you might like me to cover next Friday, do let me know. If you are on Facebook, I do a live stream, which I've now moved to my Project Opera page, every Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. That's on www.facebook.com/Project Opera. Not to be confused with the Project Opera based somewhere else. I run Project Opera on the Isle of Wight. So it is largely just me for now, doing lessons. I don't know. I get chatting to myself about all sorts of stuff. Project Opera is a cooperative I founded back in late 2012, just for the idea of getting opera out of the theatres and into the community. And I'm so fortunate to have so many members that have jumped on board to say, right, let's do this. And we tend to get together when we can. And we fund our own events and then rely entirely on ticket sales. So depending whatever audience we have, we either make our money back or not. But it's been beautiful. We've been based on the Isle of Wight since 2017. And we've since run 2 summer opera festivals, the first one being the very first ever UK Pride Opera Fest. And last year we did the very first ever Isle of Wight Summer Opera Festival. This year we were going to do Carmen, and unfortunately that has had to be cancelled. So whilst our various singers and musicians are busy teaching online and sort of working on learning music or practicing music for when we're back to normal, at the moment I don't see any of them other than occasionally keeping in touch online. So that's a bit about Project Opera. But yes, on the Project Opera page, Wednesday mornings, 11 o'clock, I will do another sort of similar thing to this. But I tend to go with more well-known, popular sort of songs on the basis that the Wednesday sessions, they're usually the ones that I co-run with David Rowe at the Church of St. John's in Ryde as an anxiety support group that we run as volunteers. So that's very much about how do we feel, where are we with things. So if you wanted to join us and perhaps comment on that as to where you are with things. I know it's a stressful time for most of us at the moment, or you might have some positive thoughts for us that you can share. So please do that on the Project Opera page. Otherwise, if you're not on Facebook, I look forward to seeing you or singing for you again next Friday, 11 o'clock. Have a great day. Bye-bye.